Janet Gray, time organisation, part 3, organisation, time management, Janet Gray.
So, who would like to manage their time better? Still do. As mentioned, this is part 3 of my time management series, so you missed the first 2, but that was to do with goal setting and setting clear goals in a timely manner, and prioritisation, which is working out what are the things that are important. So now we get on to the third area. So while all these other 2 areas are very useful, we can still get bogged down by all the amount of stuff that we just have to do, or the emails, texts coming in. It just seems to be so much. So this is where the third area, organisation, can come in handy. And one thing that I've got to bring up here is the person that can help with this is David Allen, which is How to Get Things Done, the Art of Stress-Free Productivity, and he's got some useful tips which I will refer to this evening. So the first thing he recommends doing is to collect your stuff. You need to know all the things that you have to do before you can do them. So you need to know all the things. So it might be all the things in emails, from phone calls, little scrappy post-it notes, all the lists of to-do lists, all sorts of things like that. And even if you have something that pops in your head like oh, I must remember to clean up the shed. And then every time you go past the shed and you think, oh no, I haven't cleaned the shed. You have those little guilty thoughts, and often your head is full of those. So you need to write them down and know that those are the things that you're going to do. So you need to collect it all. So you've worked out all the things you need to do. When it comes to each particular thing, is there an action involved? No. Yes, that's great. So you can chuck it in the trash, you can delete the email, you can learn to say no. Maybe someday I'll want to get onto that thing, but not right now. So you need to put the thing somewhere so you're not going to forget it. Maybe in a calendar in 6 months' time. Remember to do that. So a Sunday maybe system. Then there's stuff that you might just have to refer to at some stage in the future. So you need a good organisation system, a way to organise your emails or how to go refer back to things if you want them. Then there are the things that there's an action involved. Is there an action? Yes. Damn it. So, what is the next action? And this is one of the main ways it can help overcome procrastination. Often we've got lists of things to do, and unless we actually work out what is the next action, they'll often stay on those to-do lists, nagging us and adding to our stress. Sometimes, though, the things are projects, so you have to spend a little bit more time planning, working out all the different actions that steps that you need to do, all the different actions, and then work out what the next action is. So with our messy shed, we can work out, well, maybe we need to get rid of all the junk, maybe we can sell some, maybe we can some stuff that we want to keep, stuff that we want to put out in a hard way, so we're going to clean it all out, give it a good sweep, get rid of all the bugs, maybe put in some shelving, alphabetise the tools, whatever. But what is the next action? Well, maybe it's that big fridge that's just in the way and you just can't even get into the shed to actually do anything. So you might want to put that as your first next action. put the fridge on eBay or put it out on the hard waste. Then you're getting started. So you've got your next action. Will it take less than 2 minutes? Just do it. Sometimes with our emails, there's things that are just little. We end up thinking, oh, I'll get back to that later, and then it takes more time to get back to it than it would have to actually have done it in the first place. So just think about that. But if you can't do it, therefore you either need to delegate it if you've got that luxury, or you need to defer it. So you need to put it somewhere where it's a reminder and not floating around your head. So it's going to be in the calendar, or rather than a to-do list, maybe a next action list. So that's all they have to do. It's just do it, delegate it, and defer it. Simple. We need to keep on doing this, so we need a bit of a weekly review. So Alan recommends doing it, so we need to gather all our stuff and then we review it and then update your lists. So you get clean, clear, current and complete. And we often do this just before we go away on holiday, and we feel quite good about our work. And it's not just because we're going on holiday. It's mostly because we're going on holidays, but it's also because we've done this as well. That's quite a feeling. So you've got on top of all your stuff, you've worked out all your things to delegate, collect, defer, trash, file, all those sorts of things. But what do you do in any given moment? And in our daily life, we're normally doing either predefined work, so that's all the stuff on your lists and calendars of things that you know that you're going to be doing. And then there's also doing work as it turns up. And there's always stuff that just turns up. And then the third thing is the other stuff we've been talking about, which is planning and working out our lists and those types of things, defining what work we're doing. But at any given moment, what you do will depend on the context. So it will depend on where you are. So sometimes you may need to be at a computer to get your work done, or it might have to be, you might need a quiet place to do your emails or those sorts of things. Depends on the time available. It's always not great to start that massive project 5 minutes before you're about to walk into a meeting. And it depends on the amount of energy you've got. So some work that you do, it's better to work out maybe first thing in the morning when you're most creative, or not, depending on whether you're an owl or whatever so it depends on your energy. Some things low ebb after lunch, maybe doing some of your more mundane things. And then priority. So that stems back to my previous speech, which was to do with working out whether things are urgent or important and working them out against your goals. So we have just lightly touched on a number of things which can help in the organisational aspect of time management. There's plenty more stuff out there in books like from Alan and online. So hopefully these little things can help get you started in a way of helping keep on top of all of that stuff and not fall under a heap.
This is my office.
Admittedly though, the hardest thing can be just getting started in the first place. You think, oh my god, but it's going to take so long to work out all my goals and do the priorities, and then I've got to collect all my stuff, and then I've got to organise it, but I just don't have the time. So, just need to stop, do a little bit of planning, work out your first next action, and take it from there.